Yesterday I posted a video titled Men Are Not Protectors, and in the comment section I pinned a comment where I'm asking, when did you realize that men are not protectors? I got lots of answers. Thank you guys so much for participating. I love when you guys engage with my content. I really do appreciate it, but now I want to take a turn and answer that question as well. For me, it was back when I was with my abusive ex-husband and dealing with his brothers in the midst of all that. And you would think, well, your ex-husband, your husband at the time was abusing you. It didn't click in your head that men were not protectors at that point. Well, you have to understand, I didn't experience that before. So I was still delusional and thinking it was just very much him abusing me. I thought I was alone. You guys who have been there, you know, you feel alone, you think it's just you. But I finally got the message loud and clear. It was in 2008, right before I took my kids with me and I left him. He had choked me. He had admitted that he was trying to kill me. After he choked me, I was holding our daughter, who was one at the time. Our 3-year-old son was watching, and he choked me. He had literally had me, it felt like feet off the floor by my neck. I dropped our daughter. She landed on her feet. Our son had this horrified look on his face. And then after he knocked me down on the ground, he ran. Now, his brothers were living with us upstairs in that part of the house. It was like I don't know what you call that kind of house where there's like an upstairs and a downstairs, but upstairs is a kitchen, living room. It's basically like a house, but it's a whole nother house, but it's upstairs. And then you have a whole nother house, except it's just downstairs. So I take my kids, I run upstairs to his brothers that were upstairs, and I hand them the kids. And I said, hey, watch the kids while I go call the police. So I go call the police thinking for sure they're gonna have my back. I just told them that he choked me. You know, they're gonna feel bad for me. No. So the police officer comes, he's getting an account of what happened, and one of his brothers comes downstairs and he interrupts me while I'm talking to the police. And he says, you know, she did that to herself, right? You know, those marks, you know how crazy women are. They do things like that to themselves. And the officer, like, he laughed, but he wasn't laughing, if that makes any sense. And then once his brother thought that he had the officer fooled, he went back upstairs. Now, the officer asked me, now, do you want to press charges? And I said, no, but I'm scared because I'm in a house with his brother, so I don't know what to do. And the officer was like, well, I really can't do anything. I'm sorry, I can't stay here all day, so I'm gonna need you to make a decision. And I finally just said, I'm not gonna press charges. Now I get it. Some of you are gonna give me the coulda, woulda, shoulda brigade is gonna be like, well, I would have done this, I would have done that. Well, you weren't there and you weren't me and you weren't my age and you weren't under those circumstances, so shut the fuck up. So after the police left, his brother came backstairs and handed me my kids, and he said, you know what? I'm going to tell my brother that you've been looking up abuse and domestic violence on the computer because you're not smart enough to erase your browser history. Side note, if you are looking up abuse and resources, do not do it on the main computer that everybody uses. Delete your browser history. If you can, do it in a public library, not inside your home. Don't tell anyone either. Back to the story. And that's when I learned that men are not only scared of each other, but they also will only protect each other. They don't give a fuck about us. Because a good man, we give that title loosely to any random bozo, but a good man would not give a fuck if you were his brother, son, best friend. If you put your hands on a woman, you're getting fucked up. But no, these men, these losers, were okay with me almost losing my life, being in danger, and my kids possibly being in danger to protect their brother. But that was a lesson that I never forgot. A lesson that I had to learn in a very unfortunate way at a very young age. Mind you, I immediately left. Didn't take me long after that to leave that abuse. I took my kids with me and we stayed in a domestic violence shelter. From there, we stayed with family, and I've rebuilt my life all these years later. But you know who did help me? Women. And wait a minute, before you comment about how women are full of drama and women can't be trusted, you know what? I get that. A lot of us are so male centered. I was once male centered, and we would be willing to do anything for men. We compete with each other for men. We hurt each other for men. Listen, I hear ya. I get it. However, on that same token, women have literally been the only people who have ever come to my aid. One of my friends at the time came out, could have been a dangerous situation, came out with the police when I finally decided to leave and helped escort my kids and I. She took us in her car while the police were watching and escorted us, drove us to a certain point so that then the police can take us safely to the women's shelter. She didn't have to do that. One of his brothers were there. She could have been harmed in some way. Women helped me when I thought I was going to lose everything. When I was first rebuilding my life, they helped furnish the apartment that I had at the time. They brought me food. They babysat my kids for me. They gave me money. Before I left that abusive situation, finally, it was a woman who told me, pack up as much stuff as you can in a box, and once you get safely to your new destination, I will ship all that stuff to you at no charge. And shipping tons of clothes ain't cheap, y'all. It was women who paved the way for me and helped make me who I am today. That's all women. The only thing that men have ever done in my life is let me the fuck down. Now I get it. There are some good men out there. I have mutuals and friends in real life who are seemingly, married to some good men. But, it's always been women who have helped me, lifted me up, nursed me back to health, saved my life, helped me parent my children. That has always been women. Men are not natural protectors. They're not natural leaders. And while like I said, I don't believe in submission and men leading and all that shit, I don't believe in the other end of the spectrum where we need to take over everything and, they need to be our puppies or anything like that. I do believe in teamwork and everybody working together, but, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But I will say that I really do think that women are natural protectors. I think it's something within us. I think that women are actually the natural providers for their communities. I think that women are better leaders. Hell, I just think that we're better.